Our invasive species is kudzu.
Kudzu, also known as the scourge of the south, is a vine that takes over all the plants, depletes resources and creates smog. It has the ability to emit isoprene, a hydrocarbon that is believed to protect plants from heat. Isoprene is known to influence tropospheric chemistry, specifically by increasing the amount of carbon monoxide, dioxide, and ozone.
How did kudzu become an invasive species? I mean, kudzu can't fly or eat anything, it's a vine.
Well, kudzu was brought to the United States in 1876 for the Philadelphia Centennial Exposition, where it was promoted as an ornamental plant for gardens and food for goats, cows, and pigs. To control erosion, it was planted in the South from 1935 through the mid-1950s. The United States Department of Agriculture removed kudzu from its list of recommended ground cover plants in 1953, when it became recognized as an aggressive nuisance. Fun fact: kudzu can grow up to a foot a day and in any direction, so it could cover your house in about a year. Moving on, and speaking of doing so, the kudzu took over all of the native plant species, forcing the native animals to adapt or move on.
What about the animals that can't move on or adapt and now have no food source?
They would die. Very few plants can grow under such low light conditions, but usually the weight of the kudzu alone can be a barrier to growth. And, the elimination of native trees and brushes deprives native herbivores of food, and thus causes a huge gap in the region's food chain.
So, animals such as the eastern fox squirrel, eastern gray squirrel, long-tailed weasel, red fox, gray fox, kit or swift fox, bobcat, rabbit, black-tailed jackrabbit, and black-tailed prairie dogs will all die if we don't kill this weed?
Yes, but luckily, there is a solution that we could use to kill this weed and to help make the world a green place, by turning kudzu, which costs $1.5 million in damages to power companies alone, into a biofuel.
Why should I care? I live in Washington, and kudzu grows in the deep south.
Because kudzu has been found all the way up in Canada, so that means that kudzu could already live in Washington. By just donating $20 each month you can help us get rid of kudzu. $20 and we will turn this nuisance weed and turn it into a cheap source of fuel for your car. Think of all the lives you will save, think of all the resources we can keep, think of the pollution we're getting rid of, think of our children. Without your contribution, the kudzu has a decent chance to become one of the primary causes of pollution, and make the world unfit for our species, so please make your donation so we can kick the kudzu's invader posterior. Please choose to help now rather than when kudzu becomes an epidemic crisis, which means it will overcrowd us until we cannot live anymore.